Alright, hello everyone. Bet you're not used to seeing me this early in the morning. I'm not used to seeing a Master Match this early in the morning. That said, welcome to VR Master League Channel 1. We have got Team Gravity versus Jesters here about to begin in this second cycle. And I am Palidore, joining you for said second cycle. No sleep. Well, I'm a goner. Ominous. That said, oh yes, prediction polls, by the way. Okay, got that. I had that ready to go here. One sec. Do note as well, you'll have 2 minutes here to get your polls in, predictions in. Do note, Team Gravity coming in here in the second cycle. Of course, the reigning, defending back-to-back champions. Meanwhile, for Jesters here, I actually had a roster change recently, so I was seeing that on the website. And they will have Frogio joining this team, although currently on cooldown for this week, so they do have, it looks like, Potato Thing will be a league sub coming in for them. That said, you never know what to expect in these matches. We've seen strange things happen. Stranger things happen against the master teams, and for that matter, the championship teams of every one of our regions, NA, EU, OCE. So you never do know what could go on. Hi Flare, bye Flare. Thank you, thank you. Mr. Beaver in there saying they don't have Frogio. Oh yeah, currently that is true. Unless my eyes were deceiving me though. Looks like Frogio is on the roster now, I think. At least on the cooldown, so can't play today, regardless if they're on the roster or not. But was on the roster, it seemed like. So indeed, here we go. First joust underway. Team Gravity trying to get started off the right way, of course. One of the long-time fastest stacks in the game. Of course, there are a lot of fast stacks these days, but one of those things you observe region to region certainly is the fact that that double stack meta is getting bigger and bigger. I would say for EU here as the first two for Lowrider, low 2. They've kind of been doing the double stack really the whole way since the beginning of VRML. But that said, you're seeing a lot more of it in North America these days, and not a coincidence. Thought it's only a matter of time before things catch up to each other. Kind of on the flip side also, in these European matches, you're also seeing a lot more of a mix as well between the fast play and slow play. So really, the parity in terms of the meta differences, I mean, it's getting tighter and tighter between all our regions. OCE is another beast in itself, which is kind of a mix between the two. I will say they're super brawl heavy. That said, Watchdog here, coming in hot. I was also informed that either Watchdog's birthday or at least birthday celebration happening sometime today. So happy birthday and or almost birthday to Watchdog, one of our league moderators as well here in VRML. Lockie, of course, one of our great casters. So here we go. Welcome to everyone there in the Twitch chat, and they're welcoming themselves to the disc. Watchdog, speaking of, maybe a birthday gift. Oh my goodness, what a 3 from Watchdog. That was delicious. Why did I use that particular description? I was thinking birthday cake, that's why. But Watchdog, that was a stellar goal. Look at that. Knocking it loose and then got rid of it in a half second. But there we go. So Lowrider on this joust now. Shout out to Flake and Back. Or Bach. Or Back to Back. Either way. And Moogle. Also, welcome to the chat. What's up, Rowdy Artifact? Thank you. You too are looking tall. And Halgebert. Good to see you guys all up in here. So, hey, 1 point advantage for the Jesters, and for that matter, disc advantage to the Jesters. See what they do with it. Losing it off the bottom, however, was bothered by Viatrex there. Viatrex always a sturdy defender, and Botherer in the mid lines, and what a save from Lockie. The lockdown defense getting back in time. So there you have it. The fast play now turning around into an interception from Louis. Down the floor they go, but again, that stack doing quite well. Lockie and Watchdog, they are on lockdown and watching down this Gravity team. Knowing how fast they are, they have to be faster when it comes to getting back into the goal, not allowing any open shots. That said, a good pickoff. That was a great dive from Lockie. Only a few feet of separation between, and still yet timed that and read that perfectly. Will be another turnover though, as just as fast as Jesters had been getting back into the goal. Well, Gravity is going to be much the same, of course. But back into the grab. Mazzolini, Potato Thing, needing to be careful, and they do actually squeeze that out there into the midfield. Thus far, look at this, a few minutes into the game. neither team really able to pull much headway out. It's just a lot of that pinball of turnovers based on the aggressive stacks. Blazing, blitzing down the floor, up the floor, left and right. Trying to center themselves and find their zen, but will not be the case here as it gets lost into the sidewall. Now, Viatrex there, also kind of struggling on the pass. So, hey, look, opening minutes, sometimes it's going to be like that for teams, even at the Master Division. I know when I was playing actively, it was the same kind of way. The first few minutes for me when I was playing, what a headbutt save. Oh my goodness, hold my thought because he held down the defensive end somehow without any arms. That was great from Maza. So another passing play going here to Louis. Louis just missing that one. And so a little bit chaotic here. And as I was kind of saying, even it was the same for me when I was playing actively. Our first few minutes were always kind of like this as well, where you just gotta find the gas, I guess, in the tank. So could take a little while here, and for Jesters, they gotta push and take advantage of this slower start. Because Gravity is normally one of those teams right there at the top who definitely can put on 20 points plus in any given round, you know, when they're feeling their normal selves. Now, that said, Jesters, sub or not, they are definitely lighting it up. They have a chance to push up ahead even more, but no, will not get that score. Rebound had, however, sent over to Locky. Locky with a pass over there, too much sauce on it, couldn't make the catch. So that will float way into... wait, what happened there? I mean, I know it's morning time, I know I didn't sleep, I know I'm tired, but did the disc just teleport, or maybe I'm just going crazy? Anyways, it's going to be taken here by Lowrider. Lowrider with a disc and sending it over to Viatrex. Viatrex up top to that those two inverted players in the back line. And they're going to reset it out. Simon handing it off to Louis. Louis diving on down. Another pass. Once again, too much sauce on it. And you know, another factor too that might be worth mentioning is just the fact that this game is rather early, at least by traditional Master Team standards. Across really all our regions, they usually prioritize those late evening games. I know over there in EU, or at least in the UK end of things, it's what, maybe 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 4:30, something like that. So a little bit earlier, a few hours earlier than they're usually used to. So that could be another thing. Different timings. That said, the shot is offline. Rebounds there, and it took 4 minutes of play. You do not expect that kind of thing from either of these teams, really. But like I said, the warm-up process, 4 minutes, no goals, 4 minutes left in the round, and 4 points on the board for Team Gravity. They will have that advantage. Blake clarifying in the chat there, thank you, that I was not going insane. Well, actually, no. I still might be, but I did, in fact, see correctly on the teleport. So, okay, good to know. Thank you for that. Some chicken nuggets with that sauce, says Moogle. I'll have to look for it. Should use Google. Over here, it's Louis. Gonna be boggled. And using that line of sight, got those goggles. It's Potato Thing handing it up to Watchdog. Watchdog trying to evade the stun. Lowrider making that play all the more tough and off the dome. Mazzolini had a chance to take a lead right back for them, but that will be Gravity on the defense, one way or the other. Now Gravity on the offense, highways or the other. Now back to Simon. Has one at the back pass, has a couple up front. They do opt for the reset now. But Lowrider just missing the handles initially will still read the bounce and now settle down just a little bit. 3 minutes remaining in this first round. Pass over to Viatrex. Viatrex about to be caught there by Locky, kind of finding themselves in no man's land, but Viatrex still somehow finding a window of opportunity to pass it off. Meanwhile, it will be Simon right back to Viatrex, who's now fresh and in a much better angle to mangle for the 6 points. Two-man game takes 2 to tango. And only a minute expired since that last score, so again, maybe that settling down process starting to take a hold. But very close round and unusually low scoring for these two teams, as I mentioned. But again, it's kind of the killer of being in the Master Division, as I do note. Louis, a big stun, came out of nowhere. The Louisville Slugger once more, handing it over to Simon. Now Simon juking just lightly before the pass right over the cloud into Viatrex's arms. Meanwhile, sending it over to Simon. Oh, Simon for the 3. They're up by 6 points. Less than 2 minutes left in round 1. To my point, though, kind of one of the killers of being in the Master Division, right? You always have You always have the peanut gallery in good ways, but also in bad ways sometimes. And there's always that expectation, regardless of what, you know, if you're a master team or a championship team or just somewhere on the ladder. I mean, if you're one of these top teams, there's always this expectation. You have to show up and you have to be 100%. And you have to be perfect nearly. And anytime you're not perfect, it's a shocker, right? That said, 11 points suddenly. Not a shocker at all because it may have took a little while. But yet here they are. Team Gravity, after supremely low scoring first half, they are suddenly 11-3 on the scoreboard in seemingly no time at all. And so with that, Lucky dodging through, and it's going to pass that out to the midfield. Rowdy's saying, oh, my friends have good sleep schedules. Well, am I not your friend? Do I not have a poor sleep schedule? You can join me here. I'm as OCE as anyone, but they do see the open goal, just missing it, however. Lucky taking it back. Now sent to the midfield, at risk for a turnover still yet. Viatrex unable to get there in time, but look at that, just redirects smoothly into the Simon stack. Louis right down to Lowrider below in the goal. 30 seconds remaining, and Team Gravity, although it was not an easy job whatsoever. You know, Jesters definitely staying right with them for about 3/4 of that match. Team Gravity will take the first round. But I think this is a good indicator, although Team Gravity feeling much more kind of in the groove, I suppose, and connecting a lot more on some of their plays. Just a signal as that shot. Perfect. SOS, and that was the best possible way to end it for the side of Jesters. Mazzolini, that was a great mail slot hit. And as I was saying, both teams, you know, scoring a little bit more now at the very last 2-3 minutes or so. But I think an indicator, proving what I said just before we started the match, that anything could happen here in VRML. Doesn't matter really where you are in the Master Division, because if again if the favorite team is not 100%, it has happened multiple times already this season. There will be teams that are technically the underdogs, but they are master teams, and it's not by mistake, right? They earned their way there. So, you know, if the higher rated team, the higher ranked team, is just not executing quite up to par, you know, even just 80%, and the other team in the Master Division is executing at 90 or 100%, for instance, that's when you're going to see those upsets, whether on entire games, entire matches, or just rounds. So, I'm not one to doubt anything. Of course, we'll always be betting on the the championship teams first until it doesn't work anymore, right? You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. So they were able to pull through eventually. Just took some extra time, but you know, kind of have it both ways. I'm simultaneously surprised and not surprised when upsets happen, because they do happen. That said, though, trying to hold strong here, this roster for Jesters. Potato Thing again coming in as a substitute, the main roster player. Starting next week, after the cooldown, will be Frogio, coming off of Team Ribbit, who we saw there in Challengers Cup. That said, missing that first shot, Lucky's able to overtake, sending it down the field. And seeing if they can field that disc. Well, indeed, they're feeling their stacks. Look how quickly they grab it, and I mean, almost like synchronized swimmers. Do you see how one player grabbed the disc, and then the other three fanned out into a perfect square, basically, among the 4 players? Those are the kind of things. It's not even necessarily communicated as much as it is just natural at this point, because the chemistry is just so good. They already know, in a lot of cases, just where to be. That said, shout out to also JG and VRML admin. Welcome. That's a new thing as well. Anyways, taking over here is Mazzolini. Mazzolini through that tunnel, bouncing into Watchdog's arms. Watchdog, well, being caused some problems by Louis. Was not watching out for him, so that will be a near 3, but dunked on in from Simon. And it's a 2 points after a couple minutes on the board here in the second round. Rowdy Artifact saying, "Red makes me look tall." Well, thank you. Your name is Red over there in the Twitch chat, so you are you're looking tall yourself. I do suppose. Lucky with the disc now. Only down by 2 points, 2 minutes in, so you know what? Even though Gravity was heating up more so in that first round, the end of the first round, it's not necessarily translated yet over into the second one. This is kind of similar, very similar in fact, to how we started off round 1, where it's just a few missed connections and just these hits not quite there. I might have just cursed it though, because let's see, coming in for maybe a rebound. No, Viatrex was there, but so were 2 players from Jesters. Meanwhile, on that overtake down the field, actually slipping by the stack of Gravity players, so this might open things up. Potato Thing trying to contest there as well. Midfielded, Simon gonna eye down that mail slot. Mazzolini had one for the other side earlier on. But meanwhile, the mail slot missing there, but will still get the rebound, and the most gentle of scoops, Simon, treating that like a souffle. 4 points on that play. See, JG also talking about the rotations from these players. Absolutely. Look, these players in the Master Tier of Europe can definitely play it slow when necessary. And when they're put in that situation, but at the same time, as I said, double stack and stacking in general has been very much their strengths. And that whole speed game, being able to just get where they need to be constantly. You see it right there, perfect example, Potato Thing. Putting the stamp on that, seeing if they can get back again. One more distributed pass over to the barrier, but unfortunately miscommunication. The receiver left the anchor. But yeah, these players, they know how to move. That's the main point. They can play it slow, but they know how to move. And if you can do it as fast and efficiently as they can, then why wouldn't you? With that, taking the disc back is Mazzolini, and another mail slot. Could it be? Oh, missing, but the rebound, and they're gonna cut that lead in half. 2 points for Jesters. Good morning, Callan. I know Callan's not there, but usually when I see good mornings, it's always coming from Callan in the chat there. Morning to Newton Dad, though, as well as Birdie Boy. Good evening. So yeah, good late night for our OCE folk. There's a couple of you in there. And good day on a great 3 from Simon. Definitely had the frosted flakes this morning. Nothing flaky about that. That was crisp. I'm not sure that actually makes sense, because flaky would imply crispy. Oh well, it sounded nice initially. But yeah, you know, morning for our NA folk. There's several NA people in here, a couple OCE people, and obviously a lot of EU people. So hey, 24/7 league. So good morning, afternoon, evening, and night, depending on who you are. Always happy to have you guys. So the second round, we're about halfway through. 5-point advantage for TG. But sticking in it and sticking with this are the Jesters. They're definitely giving Gravity some trouble. Now that said, both teams certainly having a bit of trouble fumbling the disc a little bit, and Gravity uncharacteristically there on that turnover will just cause another goal this way. Potato Thing able to get the assist from Locky, taking advantage from that backboard. And with that, 3 points left. Ah, yes, me again, Cedric. It's you again, Cedric. Welcome. And welcome back. Still with it. I could, in fact, not sleep. Hence, some EU casts, which I'm not complaining about whatsoever, because I honestly regret the fact that I have not been able to. It's just a dang schedule. Anyways, lowrider there over to Louis, and right on schedule, the defense, Mazzolini. Fantastic. Putting in the defensive clamps. Seeing if they can translate that to some offense. There they go. They could get, if they can get this back, they can maybe tie the game right now with a very quick 3. There it is! Oh, but not quick enough. And against most other teams that may have been. But master level, once and twice. Just not going to be the case in Europe. Those goals that look open, even if they actually are open, you give it a little one Mississippi. Or well, one little Italy, as the case may be, since we are in Europe. And suddenly that goal is closed. You just cannot take it for granted how fast they are. Fantastic grab, though. And defense from them, unfortunately, just did not translate to offense. So this is going to give Gravity another opportunity. 3:45 still yet remaining, and they can push ahead here. Keep in mind that Gravity does have another match a little bit later on, so trying to warm up into things and swinging around. Great placement. And how deceptive is that move from Simon? Getting that pass around the barrier, redirected, inverted, kind of did a dipping move downwards, while also simultaneously shooting the disc to the upper pocket. That's all kinds of confusing. Even I almost got tongue twisted. And I could do Rap God. But these guys, they will twist you up in all kinds of knots with all that speed, which conveniently is also knots. But you know what is a success? It's Lucky on the very necessary goal to react to rebut, and they are back within 3 points. Or, sorry, 3 minutes left in round 2. So, hey, into the thick of things. Like I said, you cannot take any of these master teams for granted. They will surprise you. Coming up into the deep end of things, Viatrex, the quicker pass over to Louis, and Louis trying to reset. Might have been a danger, though. This gives an opportunity to Lucky. They need to stack, and they need to stack fast. There they are. A good leech, though, from Lowrider getting back to the goal, and the back stack for Gravity actually able to secure the disc into a pass deep down the line to Viatrex. Via missing, but now back into the other end of the floor, taking it back. Look at how... Again, I know quick. I need to find some other words besides quick. But Gravity, their stack came in late. And a potato thing now also able to get a save. So, hey, it's getting nuts up in here. Can't even speak. That said, up into the top of the ceiling, Simon the fake. And again, the deceptive move to find their goal. Look at that, 11-7. What I was trying to say, though, notice on the last stack on the floor, once that disc got cleared here into this blue zone, the Jesters stack, they had a good second or two advantage on Gravity, that back stack, that is to say. And yet, somehow, even though they started way further back, Team Gravity's stack got there faster, even from a disadvantaged start. Look at that. It's like out of a cannonball, or out of a cannon. These stacks are cannonballs, essentially. And right now, they're having a ball, especially if they can get one more shot to fall. There's the pass from below, delivering to the goal. Slam dunk from the alley-oop. And they are 13-7 on the board, feeling a bit more comfortable than before now. So with that, let's see if they can put this away. And Lucky, knowing they need to react fast, but it might be too, even for as fast as these teams are. The great save from Viatrex. I mean, that alone is probably going to secure it. The time is just not going to be there, more than likely. It would take a couple quick threes, and basically one of them needs to happen right about now. So let's see. Potato Thing sending it over to the shoulder, but beautiful read there. Lowrider locking down and making sure that they don't get any of those 3 points off. So with that, we're at that 30-second mark, and time is basically out now. Down the floor they go, though. A valiant effort, and you know what? Nearly a goal. But Team Gravity, they had their work cut out for them today in this match. For Jesters, I'm excited to see what they produce here in Cycle 2, the second half of the season, because, hey, you know, Potato Thing came in and did their thing. They played very well, coming in as a substitute. I'm interested in seeing, though, of course, what Jesters now are able to do with one more save from Louis, just denying them that extra opportunity. But I'm interested in seeing now what Jesters are able to do next week, when they'll presumably have their full roster, Frogio coming into the mix, because you know, they played quite well. Well, they finished last cycle, I believe, 5-5. So, you know, new addition. We'll see what that adds to their team going into the latter halves of this season. All right, and that said, to the score screen, let's see what time it is. All right, cool, we have a little bit of time. So we do have another match coming up right after this, hopefully, ideally. That will be between Howling Wolves and Architects VR. That is a gold division match, well, kind of on the edge of gold and silver, I believe. So that one will be following up real soon, top of the hour. So if you happen to be one of the teams that are from those teams, that is, and you're in the Twitch stream, go ahead and send those invites, if you will. I do have a couple of your players added or sent a request, just an FYI. Play, enjoy. Hey, what's up? Haven't seen you in a bit, but of course, I guess vice versa, you haven't seen me in a bit. It's a very awkward time of the day for me. I'm currently sleepless. Got a haircut finally. Yeah, it was a little while ago. 3 months ago, actually. Currently, it looks probably shorter than you even think it is, just because I have it like tucked behind my ear, but Yeah, I got it cut right before that Redshift LAN. Redshift Contender Series, the end of June. That, you know, little community gathering and tournament and stuff. The one thing is consistent about me the last 4 years is that I get my haircuts near Echo meetups. Otherwise, I just don't get it cut. But yeah, so with that, it was tough goings for both of these teams. Not the most comfortable of matches, right? You saw that rhythm in both the rounds. It took a while to get the flow, but they got it eventually for Gravity, and they did close out. Credit to them. So reminder, Gravity will have another match later on today. It won't be for a few hours yet. That will happen against Envy. And as you guys might recall anyways, Envy had taken a game off of Gravity in the first cycle. So that's going to be an intriguing match for sure. We do have some more European Master Tier matches. In fact, a lot of them, actually. We have about 5 EU Master matches in the span of about 1.5 hours, 2 hours, something like that later. So we're going to get 3 to 4 of those matches in venues today, which does start about 3 hours from right now. But yeah, all in that same time period, we have Smash Dash versus Baby Phantoms, Team Gravity versus Envy, Aj versus Hyperion, Clover versus Envy, and Everest versus Aj. So you'll have, between venues and Channel 1, you'll have a lot of European Master matches today to look forward to. In the meantime, quick intermission then. I'll send you away for just a moment. I'm going to try and communicate with the teams, get into that next match that we have lined up for you. And yeah, I'll be right back, guys. So do stay tuned, and I will get you your channel points in just a second. So one moment.
VRware. Our passion is for the future.
Alright, still trying to get into the match, by the way. Did want to answer a question, though, while I'm attempting to get some invites in. Play enjoy. Just want to update you there. So yeah, Eclipse, always happy to talk about it. I got a shout out because Lemming has been killing it over on Gorilla Tag. So proud of my man. iShiny's still killing it over on esports, and Apex, and Monsieur Simeon doing heroic work as a nurse. Healthcare. So, with that, yeah. You guys aren't used to hearing me on this this screen, are you? It's kind of unusual. Indeed, it is weird. Also, what's up to Newt in the chat? Blew me shot as well, so there we go. We got some more OCE people. Interesting time. Got representation from every one of our regions there, causing quite a bit of discussion. Fun stuff. Okay, looks like I am about to have some invites, so I'm gonna turn up the music again. I'll be back in just a minute with your next match, it looks like. Stay tuned. Alright everybody, hello and welcome to VRML once again. Second match for you here, right in the gold and silver edge of the European scene. So, I'm Palidore, still yet, round one about to start. Thanks for joining me here today, this morning. I know, unusual to see me here, but so pleasant to see you guys here. Shout out to Boop as well, been a while my friend. Hope you're doing well. That said, into the blue zone, we're gonna get started here with the Howling Wolves and Architects VR following that Team Gravity versus Jesters match, which was a close round, couple of rounds in fact. But let's see what the teams here can provide. Of course, across all the regions, continual compliments for the ladder. I mean, the teams in these ladders have been impressing more and more. Just constantly with some stellar gameplay. I've gotten so many round threes, some overtimes, even more so than usual. I know I say this a lot, but this season, I have been blessed with a lot of round threes and OTs. Just saying. That said, though, Architects VR here on the defensive end, trying to get a handle on it. Oh, I'm just realizing I did forget your prediction poll, so I'll get that for you shortly as a short-range shot quickly from Corrupted VR gets the Howling Wolves right on the board. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, that said here, I'll give you guys a 2-minute prediction poll. If you guys do want to put some points there, of course you can use those points to get some guaranteed casts, keep in mind, as well as other little fun things. So with that, here we go. Frozen Tomato with a pass over. Good coverage from Chaos. A tap up and lost off the barrier into the top near the cloud. Players overshooting just a little bit. And taken by Chaos. So Chaos VR sending it into that mid lane. And that's going to bowling ball right into the bubble, so trying to catch up to it, and quickly on that shot, the release, a little bit off the backboard there, so back into the midfield where it's taken by Singularity in a flurry, in a hurry. They've got the second one, and it's a success. Frozen Tomato, ice in the veins, if tomatoes had such a thing. Beautiful hit from 25 meters out, confidence.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, also welcome to Django in the chat. This match coming unchained. Just kidding, it's EU. It's never unchained. It is fast, it's ferocious, it's furious. It's all those good things. Mania that is, from the pass, intercepted by Corrupted down the line. And Celestial trying to take some boost, but Mania, a good grab, leeching off of him. And back into the mid zone as Frozen is able to send that, but actually gets it picked by Chaos. Chaos VR over to Celestial Moon. And they're going to play a little more patiently here, if they can, trying to find those angles. They're willing to back pass. I like the positioning there, that perfect square formation coming in and attempting to take advantage of a stunned goalie. Unfortunately, there were two, so couldn't knock that one down. They will get the rebound. They will have another bouncer. That takes an awkward release, actually, off the hands, so they will have maybe even a third attempt still. Let's see. Indeed, Celestial causing some issues there, leaving a crater in that defender. So off the clock, and in no time at all, it's Chaos VR putting them up by 1. Nice team play. And I like the persistence. You know, had a few of those attempts at the goal not go the way they wanted, but because of that aforementioned positioning on the floor, they were right there for the rebounds, the recoveries, and eventually those passes brought them some success. So on this rollout, ooh, maybe a miscommunication there. That stack overtaking in a hurry, picking it off though along the way. Ooh, a big shot. Just missed there from Mania, but it was a confident one, certainly from that pizza slice of an angle. A turnaround from Vader, turning right around into a stun from that defense. And another shot though. Chaos picks it off. Kind of forced into that one, but Vader, another rebound. So Architects, much like the Howling Wolves on the opposite end of the floor, well, Architects now are, had a few opportunities at the goal, but now getting away from them, so trying to peel off is Chaos VR, pushing off as well, lining it up. Too much mustard on that disc. Why does it have to be mustard anyways? Why not ketchup? Either way, though, these teams are trying, in fact, to catch up as they catch the disc, pass the disc, and make it a success. Low risk off the beautiful team play again. Anytime you can find the extra passes, it's just a high reward. You're turning a, maybe 50% chance at a goal, 60, 70. You're turning that into more like an 80, a 90% chance at making the goal. When you can crisscross your defenders, you make them turn their heads, you make them refocus, and basically just keep them on the move, keep them mobile, keep them honest. That said, trying to keep them honest. The goal was exposed, could not punish for Vader. Vader there, a stun on him, but still managed to get the pass off or the clear. This getting lost around the cloud area, and that will bounce now into the orange zone. So just trying to gather their stacks. All the meanwhile, that sails nearby that orange scoring zone. Players all in a flurry coming up the floor. Celestial Moon from the midfield, now disengaged from the rest of the players, the rest of the defenders, and there's that spacing I talked about again, crossing it over. Oh, too tough on the catch, however. Just an inch or a centimeter, as the case may be, out of reach as they make their way down the floor. The legendary in there. If they don't win, you can break mine. I don't need them to cast. Howling Wolves losing the disc though. Celestial Moon now will be Frozen Tomato with that clear into the opposite trap. Singularity there to contest perhaps. But Moon with another recovery, not for too long. The brawls happening here. The pace kind of again, a frenzy, just a million miles, or again, kilometers per minute. I don't know. I know Freedom units, I'm outnumbered right now because we have OCE and EU's presence, and only me right now in the casting booth. I gotta be aware. But of course, I don't know. I consider myself a national international. Does that even make sense? Think about it. It probably does. I'm basically in every region at this point. Basically. There's such a thing as a triple citizen, that would be me. That said, taking it over here, it's Chaos VR, all alone, uncontested. The second and third players, that stack, just waiting for the clear to happen so they can go pounce on the disc and maybe get some dribbles up the floor. Will be collected nonetheless by Vader. And in the back line, though, Chaos, kind of inappropriate to the name, Chaos just more organized in the back line, figuring, okay, I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to wait for something to happen. Just wait in the back line just in case they need me, and they did. That said, though, another pass off into the midfield, and Chaos! You've got to change your name in a minute here because you're playing all too controlled. Over to Corrupted, but Corrupted out of control there, losing the disc, unfortunately, off the handles, bouncing around off that ceiling. Stacks once more, trying to catch up to the disc at the other side of the floor, and they will do just that. A pass off there to Chaos, and Chaos being stunned right before the disc was tossed, although there is notably a goalie inside that orange zone for Architects, so something that they need to be aware of on offense here for the Howling Wolves. Now Howling Wolves trying to make a play happen, seeing if they can. And not Rabbit, Ribbit, Robbit. Welcome to the chat, and yeah, I think the question answered already. But this is basically the edge of gold and silver, I believe. Check that for you in a hot second here. And yeah, indeed. So Architects in silver, Howling Wolves all right on gold. So kind of an important game for both these teams, certainly, because whichever team wins, whichever team loses, that may indeed affect. Well, who is gold and who is silver by the end of this, basically. Could end up switching on each other, potentially, depending on how this goes. That said, a grab. Down by 3 are the Architects, but up on the offense, they have a chance. There's a lot of congestion there. I had some players, and maybe one of those cases, certainly where eyeing a pass could have helped them, because that was a lot of collapsed defense, meaning there had to be some players available for a reception somewhere along the line. But they will not pay for it too much because they do get the disc back, and now they Stacks overshooting but redirecting rather quickly in succession. Meanwhile, oop, backboard there, grabbed by Corrupted. Corrupted sending it that left lane. Rob it, got it. See if they can get this though. Instead, they got robbed by the boot. That old boot slash banker block. To slightly paraphrase on what my good friends in Europe used to call it once upon a time, and once upon a dime, a nice pass but no finish will be grabbed back here by Celestial Moon. Celestial bouncing it below, nearly a perfect setup off that bounce, but still no go. So this may open things up if the stacks come in for Architects VR. It's a perfect setup. There's that rebound. What a ding again. Shot not found. They could have tied it up with that. It's a tough miss, and now they're going to have to take a 3 still yet, but the much more difficult way around. Could have potentially sent it into overtime. They still could, though, if they grab this disc back. Vader trying to cause some trouble for Corrupted, but unfortunately for them, Chaos is still in the zone to get that clear. Now, if they grab that disc one more time, even just toss it to the other end, this would be the round, certainly, to save. One in the goal, defending that back line, 6 seconds remaining, so someone needs to get there and needs to bother that goalkeeper, those 2 goalkeepers quickly. Otherwise, oh, what the heck happened there? Vader just tied it, and overtime it is. Goodness gracious. I did not expect that, and neither did the goalie. Well then, overtime it shall be. Here we go. All right, so, hey, we got ourselves a match. It is round 1 overtime, sudden death deep into the orange end of the floor. That will be picked off here by Vader. Vader, though, having it stolen, and it's going to be possession to Howling Wolves, it looks like once again. A deep pass, and it's going to be perfectly placed. Chaos finding their zen once again. 8-6 in OT. Round 1 is done. So, wow, that was much more stressful on Howling Wolves than they would have liked. But they were able to clutch it up in the end. 15-second OT there. Well done, an exciting first round for sure. So off to the score screen, courtesy of IgniteVR.gg and the Spark application in particular there, powering our overlays that you see on the score screen and what have you. And indeed, I am on the cast, and I'm on cams, and I'm on webcams. Now, whether you were asking that because the cams were good or the cams were bad, I'm not quite sure. If it's the latter, keep in mind, currently on an all-nighter. and I also casted all night. Well, not all night, but I casted Primetime NA. I casted one Primetime OCE match, and now I'm casting Primetime EU. So if things are a little bit shaky, apologies from me. But that said, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, had fun. We're having fun here, for sure. Keep in mind, again, in about 3 hours, or rather 2 hours and 45 minutes from now, we do have venues coming up for Europe. Big showcase there. There are 5 matches, master matches that is, happening at the same time. We'll have 3 to 4 of them on venues, depending on timing and scheduling and so on. But the ones that aren't on venues, they'll still be streamed over on channel 1 here. So we'll have a lot of master tier EU later on. But right now we have a very hyped up round 2 between these two teams after that OT. So I'm excited to see what they provide. Let's get on to it. As it gets into the first joust and the first possession, the first shot, so an 0-3, a little bit high. Mania unable to convert there, so Chaos able to take it over. Would have been great for them to get started off with that 3-point play, but still yet. We saw the resilience from Architects VR in that first round. Not a team that you can count out after their lovely display towards the end, and they had a chance to win that round. The Rabbit going to play Echo. All right, cool. Go enjoy by all means, whether you're watching Echo, casting Echo, creating for Echo, playing Echo, etc., etc. Not to echo myself too much, but it's all good. It's all good. We love it here. So with that's Corrupted, they'd love to see themselves that pass and finish. Oh my goodness, I know we're across the pond. Well, that's a Chicago if I've ever seen one. Nonetheless, it's a 2-pointer going the way of Howling Wolves.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Wildkid also in the chat. I see a lot of pressure in there. Now, need I remind you guys, officially speaking, not allowed to ask for those casts. There's so many teams, so many players. Now, on that note, though, officially speaking also, I do intend to cast OCE tomorrow, or today. You know what I mean. Great passing play there. Oh, wow, the denial from Mania. That one will not be Chicagoed. Oh, no. That is going to be sent straight to France into that left lane. But yes, I do intend to, I saw there's 2 matches for OCE. I do intend to cast at least one of them, if that's any consolation, indication, I don't know. Anyways, over to Celestial Moon at that midfield. That was a great save again, though, chat pointing that out. That was incredible. I mean, there was so much congestion there, so many stuns, so many bodies able to secure it. And again, now Singularity getting in on the mix with a good nab. They can turn around, though, and find their stacks. That's what they need. That's what they were missing in that particular juncture, right? Is just turning around and finding the mobility. That's what Howling Wolves did there very well. You saw all 4 players of theirs got back first into that blue zone. And yet, somehow creeping by and slipping by with a disc, maybe for a second. Everyone now piling up, a gigantic dog pile forming in that lane. Now down the floor, quick, easy does it. Is that stack get a few regrabs in there? An opportunity for the score. Unable to convert, but rebound perhaps. There it is, another ding off that post, and another rebound just as quickly. Again, silent this time. Getting loud, getting proud. They've got 4 on the board.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
All right, so with that, also more shoutouts, yet more faces stopping by. We see Potato in there, and your boy Sam, Jinx, and Lai GMA once again making appearance in the chat. And stun here on Mania. Mania with a headbutt trying to dislodge it, and actually, because of that headbutt, I think at least gives themselves a chance at the offense again, so nicely done. They've got the lineup, the hesitation move, but Corrupted. It definitely corrupted that shot. Some great defense now we're seeing from both sides of the floor. Love to see that, but not an uncommon thing either. I always say it as an open walk-in goal comes in. 6 points up on the board. I've always been one to compliment that goalkeeping skills, particularly for both Europe and for Oceania. Those 2 regions in particular had produced so many great goalies in a very short span, which is not to discredit NA whatsoever. I just think the styles are very different. Proportionally speaking, Europe and Oceania have had some incredible goalkeeping in their regions. So it's not a mistake when you see these kind of things happen. But yeah, of course, elite goalkeepers everywhere. That said, maybe jinxing it a little bit in my own right, because that's 2 uncovered goals in a row that it's capitalized upon for the Howling Wolves. So just like that, they've burst fired their way to a near double-digit advantage. Separate note, shout out to Notkex subscribing with Prime there. Appreciate that very, very much. Very kind and generous of you, so all the hearts your way. Appreciate that. And yeah, welcome to the stream just as well. Trying to get on the goal still, on the scoring sheet still, is the Architects team. Now forced that overtime, 6-6 in round 1, before Howling Wolves were able to complete a 15-second OT to win it nonetheless. But this round going much differently. Very heavy-handed, or heavy pod, I suppose, from the Wolves here. So with that, I mean, look, we still are halfway through this match. If one team can score 9 points in 5 minutes, certainly the other team can. It will just be a battle of finding that rhythm and that momentum. But they have to be able to snap back. They have to be able to brawl, so snap back, even bat back. You know, they got to get the juices flowing. Like Snapple Bapple. Whatever the case is, though. Trying to unravel that defense they do. Beautiful passing play once again to that clock, that backboard. And they have favored that area and junctures in the last 15 minutes as well. One way or the other. Howling Wolves, they are chowing down.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I gotta wonder, Jinx, in the chat, that is to say, because we mentioned the commentator's curse, the caster's curse is a caster's jinx. Does that throw you off whenever we say that? Because I feel like I say that a lot, and then whenever you're in the chat, you probably think I'm talking to you, and then I'm not. This time I am, though, rest assured. Or am I? Who knows? Anyway, taken back by Celestial Moon, and before Silent, they're going to send that to the left lane. That'll bounce right back, though, to Vader, who, man, makes me dizzy, inverts themselves on the recovery, and they're going to have an angle on this pass, maybe, but well read was Chaos again. I'm pretty impressed by Chaos in particular, who across these 2 rounds has really shown a good nose for the disc and just a good knowledge for where to be. That shot would have been right on line had it not been for Mania in the disc, or in the goal to save that disc. So nicely done. A lot of steals in the midfield all the meanwhile, as Singularity attempting to recover for them. Another pile forming there, a slinger of a clear from Single. Or Singular. A singular of a clear? I don't know, there was wordplay in there somewhere. Nonetheless though, Mania trying to line this one up. They're yet to score, but trying to change the tune now, but could not tune up. So still, the instruments of destruction is that defense. It's corrupted, it's corruption, it's Chaos before Silent Celestial Moon. They are holding strong. Somehow, some way, they are just on a complete tear, defensively and offensively. They are getting the job done, stifling Architects on both ends of the floor. With that, Chaos will send that clear leftwards. And I think for Architects here, as you see, something I mentioned earlier on, right? Floating a little bit too much in the air there when that disc is clear. Really needing to look for their teammates on those stacks. Because otherwise, that's a good save from Mania again there. Ambitious shot from the anchor. Ambitious, not ambitious. Went a little bit Sean Connery for a moment. That said, I'm not going to shush because once again, these players are pushing on the goal. 13, Baker's dozen. They're up very well, and they're celebrating as well. They're happy on the Howling Wolves.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and separate note, another shout out to Notkex just because. Buy one, get one free today. Of course, appreciate having you guys here. And on that note, apologies for not really being here to stream as much EU, in recent months. It's disappointed me as much as anything. I just, if I could be awake 24/7, I totally would. But man, my night owl tendencies really hurt those efforts. Because believe me, I've tried so many times to fix my schedule so I can stream more. It just doesn't work. My brain doesn't let me. And not sleep until a certain time, and unfortunately that time happens to be EU prime time. But alas, an all-nighter for me will be all exciting on EU side of the field because, like I said, we have so many matches here for Europe today, coming on a little bit later in venues and on Channel 1. We already have these 2 matches here to start off my morning, your guys' evening. was something I'm definitely happy about, and I mean, I'll try my best for sure. But shout out to all our killer casters who've been doing a killer job throughout this season. One of those nice things too, right? Where even though I wish on a personal level I could be streaming more of these matches, we've had such nice activity from a variety of our casters. And our production leads especially, you know, coming in doing some phenomenal work. That it's not a case where, you know, I have to be the only one casting or anything like that. So it's a great thing. VRML is growing from all ends of the floor, and hey, showing up for their first score, it's Architects VR as we wind down this second round. So it didn't really go the way they wanted, obviously, after that nice overtime round, round one. But Architects VR is still able to end on some points, and that is indeed the point. Bringing that differential a little bit closer, that will have a positive impact on the MMRs and whatnot. And you know, for them, a pleasure streaming. But congratulations to the Howling Wolves, who will secure the sweep. All right, so with that, to the score screen one final time, at least for this particular stream. Drinks in the chat there saying, couldn't agree more. Cast and crew are absolute rock stars. Really making a huge impact on this game. You know what? Oh dang, I don't have my glasses. I was gonna totally, you know. But yeah, it's fun. It's nice. It's as if it's one of the things I like. I like the way they use the word rock star. I kind of feel I feel that way about Echo, not just the casters, but like the players too. Because obviously all of us here are gamers, of course, right? We're you know, we love gaming, we love VR, we love this particular game in VR. But to me, that was always one of the coolest things about competing or even just being a caster now and such. It's like, what once was the high school nerd, the quiet guy in the corner, the silent guy carrying around a ball, a basketball. I did that because, never mind. Point is, it's like now, yeah, we're the athletes now. We're the rock stars now. You know, no dust off our shoulders. What, you know, I don't know. See, I don't know what to do with my hands. You can see the high school just creeping out of me by the minute. But that said, I love it because Echo is such a sporty game. It's such a physical game, and this community is so tight knit. And even though it is growing, you know, the competitive scene is just so crazy good, and we get to stream players so much. Making sure they weren't doing an exhibition round because I was going to go for it otherwise. That said, things are growing so much. It's like there is that level of competition, that camaraderie, but also just that, like, the friendly headbutting, usually. I don't know. It's cool stuff. It gives everyone a chance to be their best selves, you know? At least that's how I always looked at Echo. Anyway. Jinx asking if I was going to get that dirt off my shoulder. It's out of there, yeah. Courtesy VRware. Of course, some excellent wear on vrware.net. If you guys want to get some merch, I also have some of those official jerseys you can get of VRMLs from Arma. You can all find that on the website if you scroll down to the bottom of it. See our sponsors, tags, and whatnot. Yeah. Quick hydration. I know no one redeemed it, but I'm parched. Alright. So before I do close off, also, before I keep blabbering, if any of the teams who had a stream here today or just now are curious, because this happens a lot actually, they say, Pally, end the stream so I can watch my VOD. You can actually do that, even if I'm still live, just by the by. So if you scroll down and click on our little Twitch name or Twitch profile picture or whatever, then click on the videos tab, you can still access the VOD before it's actually over, and you can rewind and watch your match. So on that note, you don't have to wait. Yeah, final words to the chat, just making sure I don't miss anything before I go, because this will be the last stream, at least on my end, and possibly for all of our ends until venues in a couple hours. So if there's any things I missed, do let me know. Try to answer anything I can. But otherwise, just seeing a lot of, you know, good sportsmanship there, good games, and compliments, yeah, to the casting team and compliments to the teams. It's a mutual kind of thing, right? You guys play amazing matches. Therefore, it's a pleasure for us to cast it. It's like we both get something in this exchange, you know? Channel points! I always forget, don't I? I mean, I don't know. I forget until the end. But I always do get it. Don't worry. Get that for you right. Oop. Okay, there you go. I'll get it for you right about now. Maybe. Or not. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm like I said, all-nighter. I'm a little bit spacey at the moment. Hold on. Okay. There we go. That was a lot more difficult than it should have been. Maybe I should get a nap before venues. Okay, so anyways. There we go. Not stealing your points, don't you guys worry. There it is. Oh, the hydration from Not Kex. Third shout out. Oh, hey, guess what? That is my alarm to say, hey, you should start waking up to get ready for venues. Not just venues, other things. Well, I guess no nap for Pal here today. That's fine. So who's playing on venues? You can check that out on vrml.com/echoarena/matches to get the full look at the schedule, but I will read off for you here. We'll have Smash Dash, Baby Phantoms, Aj versus Hyperion, Clover versus Envy. Depending on scheduling, we might have Everest versus Aj at the end, but that's 4 matches in a row, 30 minutes apart, so that 4th match may not happen, but if it doesn't happen on venues, it will happen on Channel 1. We'll also have Team Gravity versus Envy, so Team Gravity going against a team that did hand him a loss in the first cycle, mind you, and Team Gravity also playing just about an hour or so ago, so seeing if they can stay warm and get into the thick of things there. Other than that, yeah, looks like we're good. What did I do during the second round? Word sneak, maybe? Oh, yes, I did in fact get it there. Okay, so I think that's it for me for now, but thank you guys for joining. I had a lot of viewers tuning in, and appreciate that as always for the support, and the teams appreciate that as well. So until venues again later on, which is in 2.5 hours from right now, convert it for me. I'm too scrambled brain to do it. So, that said, 2.5 hours from right now. Until then, I've been Palidore. This has been VRML Channel 1. Be happy, healthy, safe, and be good to each other. This is my Echo Arena fidget spinner. Enjoy. Just had to throw that flex in there. I'm going to see you again real soon. Bye.
And we're underway.
Season 4 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, VRware, Rebuff Reality, VR Cover, and ProTube VR.